What's happening, fellas? Back again. It's snowing outside like a blizzard. Weird situation, especially for down south. So, excuse me. I want to talk about Russell and Ciara. Everybody's all worked up about Russell saying that his worst fear in the world is that Ciara would leave him. So sweet, moist. I've said this for a long time, ever since, they got together. I hate to hate on the brother, but his position hasn't been really a masculine one. Russell looks weak to a lot of men because, he went after Future and picked her up, picked Ciara up. And Ciara put all these stipulations on the table that she didn't put out there for Future. Future is truly the epitome of a Pookie and Ray Ray. And, she, had the whole persona of the street when she was with Future, She wasn't like she is with Russell, Look at this picture. She looks fabulous, fantastic. They look great together. She ain't look like that when she was with Future. I'm sure she didn't put any stipulations on Future because he wasn't having that. We all know how Future, operates. Future is crusty and has no respect for other men whatsoever. I mean, he's definitely a character. But the part that's very interesting right now is that, I hang out in this Facebook group. It's a private group, I'll see if, see if I can shoot it out there so you guys can, come on in and check out the festivities. But they going in on Future, Let me show you a little bit about, what they're saying. So one guy says, I had to say something. Russel Wilson has been played. Ciara is the prime example of most women who like the bad dudes or the thug. She never really cared for these types of men. Or he says man. I think he meant men. The ones who would treat her right. When she got tired of the streets, she found a weak dude. Nobody checking for Ciara. If anything, Russel Wilson is the prize. But this is a simp way of thinking he has. He has the money and everything, in all honesty. She only got with Russell because he was safe. And if you don't understand that comment, then hey, it is what it is. Interesting. But I can see where he's coming from. I don't know what Russell's like behind the scenes, He might be, a hellacious dude behind the scenes. But it just don't look that way. She's had some kids with him, So she's in a good position that if she does want to leave, she's going to be good to go. I don't know that would happen, but, we all have to take that into consideration when we deal with women, modern women, Okay, so I'm going to move over to NBA Momo. And he says he wifed up a single mother from the industry when he could have had basically any woman he desired. Voluntary stepdaddy of an industry chick is a simp move. When you have that level of celebrity, dude's handsome, wealthy, famous, and a star athlete, and he chooses a baby mama. Damn. Boy, that was salty. But I'm sure, we can relate to that situation. I mean, it's not the best situation. It's not ideal for you to come in and, especially behind Future. I mean, he was, probably hanging out with Ciara on that purple stuff and whatnot. Now she's upgraded. Russell got a master's and, got everything for her. He's just, he's doing it up. So, I don't know. You guys tell me down in the comments if you think that, this was a good move for Russell. I mean, she's beautiful. I mean, she keeps herself fit. She looks great, Maybe this is one of those situations where it's just an outlier situation where, this is just not a normal type situation. And it is, favorable for him. And maybe it will turn out good for him. But I don't know, man. I've always said Russell looks weak, man. And everything he's done, it's just like, when you're just throwing all of this, these gifts and these lavish things on this woman, and she's secondhand, you know what I'm saying? I mean, secondhand the Future. That's rough, man. That's rough. And the ladies, they ain't having it. They on here, they upset because they seem to think that, this is an ideal situation for men. This is where, what every man should be out here trying to, aspire to be with. I don't know. I do know. But we get shamed into, going along with this type of stuff. It's really hilarious. I wanted to read, some of the comments. If I can scoop up on this real quick, y'all bear with me. Oh well, can't really find them here, but they were going in, and I'll just kind of go from memory here, but they were going in. They were just like, it's a shame that older men think like this. And what if it was their daughters? Well, if it was my daughter, I'd tell her, you can put yourself in a bad situation, and this ain't how I raised you. See, that's the problem. We in the Black community are just getting to the point where we just accept anything. Now, I don't want to come off like I'm a saint, because we all like ratchet things. I think there's just a parameter that they have to be in when we are participating in this type of activity. Used to be, if you wanted to go see a whole bunch of twerking and a whole bunch of extra, you'd have to go to a specific place to see that. It wasn't all out in the street, and there were certain types of dudes that were just unacceptable, that you just wouldn't mess with. I find it amazing that a woman of Ciara's caliber was even messing with Future. But that's part of this culture now. You can just go out and you can just go have fun, and do whatever the fuck you want to do, and then come back and expect everybody else to just disregard that. They try to make you a pedophile if you're looking at a woman who's, hey, in her 20s or whatnot. She's young, fit, beautiful, They do all kinds of stuff to shame you into getting a woman who meets your standards, And mostly this is from the type of she-cat that has defanged and declawed herself, so she can't get out there and hunt because she don't have the tools anymore, because she's played out. And because she's played out, she wants to try to tell you how you should conduct yourself. And a lot of us just ain't having that. I don't know. You guys, you let me know what you think about this. And, maybe I'll do a follow-up. Just wanted to, shoot that out to you guys. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I would be, I'd be in a bad spot too. I mean, because she does look kind of good now. I mean, she's bad. I mean, that's what we all want. Want a woman that looks good like that, Not too much makeup, real hair, great body. She compliments you when you're out with her. You can take her into any venue. But can you really get over the fact that she was with Future? I mean, we're talking about Future, y'all. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I'm gonna let this one go. And we'll swing back through. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Please. Support the channel. And keep hanging out with your boy.
Welcome to the Abuki Cabal Show.
How y'all like my girl's voice? Nice one. I'm out, fellas. Again, y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. Going out with the caddy.
I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home.
You are listening to Abuki Cabal, the analytical savage.